Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have with us Cathy Sierra. She came to Canada about 10 years ago, roughly. And Cathy, you can correct me later on. So now currently works as in program management. So without having me to give her intro, I'll give her the opportunity. So Cathy, if you can get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cathy Sierra. Thanks, Sad, for having me here. So I want to tell you about my journey, about myself. I came to Canada around 12 years ago. I'm originally from Colombia. And I started this journey at that time when we decided as a family to come to Canada. My background is more in IT. Back there, I was a PM lead, and I had a few project managers reporting to me. And basically, I was in IT project management, but helping one of our customers to distribute their software across all Latin America. So I had to travel to Mexico, Argentina, different countries, and had to deal with this account that it was in the US. So I learned a little bit about multicultural. As a family, we decided to come to Canada. When I came to Canada, I had no English at all. So I had to learn how to speak English, how to say good morning, and be very nice with all the Canadians. And then my next challenge was to find a job. And I wanted to continue my journey in project management. But as many immigrants, maybe you have heard about this, that you need to have the Canadian experience to work. So that's what I was told back then. And what I did, I enrolled in a government program to get certifications in IT. So I investigated about this. I got a spot in this program, and I decided to start as a system engineer again, as a programmer. So that's what I did. I participated in the program for around 6 months. And in this program, I got certifications in .NET, and I got certification in SQL Server. And that actually helped me, and I made great contacts there. One of our coach who helped us to get the interview, he actually said, okay, how can I help you? And I said, well, I have done all these certifications, but I don't want to be a programmer. I want to be a project manager. And this person said, how can you be a project manager? You don't know anyone here. And I said, well, I need to find a way to be a project manager because that's what I want to be. I know I'm not a programmer. And he agreed with me, Cathy, yes, it seems that your skills are more in project management. I was so determined to be a project manager. And I think that he was testing me. And at the end, he said, okay, there are different ways to get there to get the Canadian experience. You either are a volunteer or you can find a job, or maybe you can find something like project coordination. And I said, okay, let's do that. Say, okay, are you willing to be a volunteer? I said, for sure, I will be a volunteer. And he was the person who was trying to help me to get into the job as a volunteer in project management. He reached out to me, but then he was reached out by this company and then at Flexity Solutions. And then they said that they were looking for someone. And actually, Sadraman was the person who contacted this college and was willing to have a new immigrant given the opportunity. But they said, this is for a project coordinator, it's not for a PM. And I said, I'm willing to do that. So I started working at Flexity as a project coordinator, and I showed my experience as a project manager. And I think that I showed the capabilities that I had and the knowledge. They promoted me as a project manager. Then I had the challenge to get the PMP. So I did it right away. I was so determined to be a PM that I did it. I got my PMP certification. Then I worked in that company as a project manager for about 5 years or so. And after that, I decided I was ready for a new challenge. I learned as a project manager, a good experience would be to work in a bank. So I started focused on getting a job in a bank, and I did. It was great experience. I worked for CIBC as a infrastructure project manager. I worked there for around a year. learned a lot about tools, PM tools, technology, and also how to deal with the business and big companies. After that, I made good contacts while I was working at Flexity, and one of the customers said, Cathy, we want you to be our project manager. And one thing that happened, and I want to give this advice to everyone, is that I always had my LinkedIn profile updated. And by December, I got this call saying, Cathy, we saw your profile in LinkedIn and we want to interview you. And I thought that would be a joke. Why someone would contact me just like that to interview me? But no, they were serious, and they thought that would be a good fit for the company. So I was having different offers, and at the end, I decided to go for this company, Rockwell Automation, as a project manager, and I joined this company back in 2015.
That's amazing. You kind of covered all the questions that I was going to ask you, so that's amazing. That's you, just like you answer things in advance. So, but one last question for you, Cathy, is that if you were to give any advice to all the new immigrants who are coming in and with a certain profile as yourself, what is the advice that you would give them to get into the project management space?
The advice that I say is that get empowered when you come here. You don't need to have the Canadian experience. It would be good if you have it, but the only way to get the Canadian experience is working in the environment. So you don't need to wait for that. Be willing to apply. Take advantages of all of the government resources that we have here. Make connections. Don't be afraid to contact people by LinkedIn. Make a LinkedIn profile. Just try to be up to date and apply. I have had experience with other immigrants who are working with me that they just apply after 2 months, 3 months they were here, and they are working with me in the same company. So wow. I think that just be willing to do it. The other thing is that sometimes back home we have the job that we had was higher maybe. It's not the same in Canada, the same title. So be willing to apply for jobs that probably it doesn't say director, but maybe you can go for managers or other type of roles and then start growing. As soon as they see how capable you are, you're gonna be compensated for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cathy, for sharing your journey. And I think the summary is that don't be taken aback by the title that you get here. Just get yourself in the door. And then once you're there, then you'll get the opportunity. So thank you so much, Cathy. I hope the folks who watch this get some inspiration. And thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Seth. Thanks for having me.